Welcome to the Real Estate Syndication Show. Whether you are a seasoned investor or building a new real estate business, this is the show for you. Whitney Sewell talks to top experts in the business. Our goal is to help you master real estate syndication. And now your host, Whitney Sewell.
Are you a new or sophisticated investor wanting to learn how to operate a successful syndication business? For life-changing training from the nation's leading syndication expert, my friend Vinney Chopra has the training you need. Text LEARN, L-E-A-R-N, to 474747. This is your daily real estate syndication show. I'm your host, Whitney Sewell. Today, our guest, he needs no introduction. You've all heard of him many times, and he is... he's been on the show probably more than anybody, and he's one of the most experienced people in this industry that I've met, and most generous person as well. And his name's Vinney Chopra. Thanks for being on the show again, Vinney.
Thank you, Whitney. It's such a pleasure. It totally is a pleasure to be here with you. I hope I can add some value to your great audience, and congratulations on such a terrific podcast show, daily podcast show on syndication, which is my life.
Thank you so much, Vinney. I know you're going to add value. You always do. And just a little about Vinney in case you haven't heard of him, in case you just started listening to the show. But he came to the U.S. with only $7 in his pocket, now has over 35 years of experience in real estate, 15 years in multifamily syndication, managing. He does all aspects of his business. It's amazing what he's accomplished. And over 220 million of assets now, Vinney, is that right?
Yeah, almost 270 million now. Close to 200, yeah.
So, Vinney, let's get caught up on I know you're in the process of a large acquisition now that we're going to get into, and just some recent things that's been happening for you. And so, get us caught up a little bit, and let's jump into this last acquisition.
Oh, surely, Whitney. Yeah, I wanted to mention to the audience that, it's great to have affirmations in life. You want to set goals, deadlines, and so forth. And something which I wanted to share with your audience was, we had set a goal 20 years back, maybe 20 years back. We've been living just outside the country club here in Danville, Blackhawk. And I just had a vision. Hopefully, God will give us the strength and the buying power to be able to move into country club. And I'm very fortunate, humbled that, God has given us through syndication of multifamily. I hope everybody really catches that wagon, that ear. Everybody's talking about, invest in syndication, or also invest in multifamily, 8 units, 12 units, 15 units, 20, 30, 300, units. It scales up and your net worth increases and your, buying power increases, things like that. So that is a great thing to keep. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams,
Congratulations to you, Vinney. I know I've seen a brief video of this new home, and it's just, just this dream coming alive for you. And I just want to congratulate you and your family and what you've been able to accomplish, and your generosity in just helping the listeners and myself, get to that level, for where you're at. So thanks again for that, and congratulations. And so give us some details of this new deal, and let's jump into go in depth a little bit about what it is and where it is and why you like it.
I love it. As some of you know who have heard me on podcasts, I've been actually in Texas. That's how I started, cut my teeth, and got the training and everything. I was there 10 years almost. Then in 2016, I went to Atlanta, Georgia. And I said, okay, 3 years back now. And it's been really, really fabulous. I mean, I went there, met with a lot of people, brokers and all, then bought 2 deals, and those are doing fabulous. I got for 10,100,000. One deal I'm selling for 15,400,000 right now, right there in Atlanta. And then the other one we are not selling. It's like I paid 12,200,000, something like that, syndicated. And now it's worth about almost 17.5 to 18. We are keeping that one. Now, just recently, I've been looking at Florida, by the way, for some time. When I go into a market, Whitney, I go full immersed into it. You got to immerse yourself, look at all the job markets, look at everything that's happening, look at Jacksonville was something where we were looking at quite a bit for the last several months. and then Orlando and Tampa. A lot of people might, I'll also be looking at. So this deal, it's called Bentley at Maitland, and we are under just closing it on it now in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's a $52 million deal, which is exciting. There were 122 tours, so it was out in the open. Fabulous 324 units, Whitney, and it's right about 52 million, and we'll be closing. Fannie and Freddie were fighting over each other to give us the loan on this one. Yeah.
So,
And
122 tours. Obviously, a lot of interest in this property.
lots of,
Lots of people looking and wanting to purchase this deal. So, why were you selected over all those, Vinny? What made you stand out?
I think I have to really give credit to my partners. We went 50-50 on this one. Enzo Multifamily, beautiful, great people. I've known Enzo Multifamily, very nice people, for about 2 years or so, and we were thinking to combine forces. So that's what came. They brought the deal actually, and they had relationship built in with the broker, from this Maitland. And when I looked at it, I just fell in love. I flew there, and it is like a resort, almost like a resort. And they had gone 296 units were already upgraded with millions of dollars, and then we only have 28 left out of 324. A lot of value plays, great valet trash, other things, the yoga place, the exercise, and increase in rent is almost $100. That is not done yet. And in our classical units, it will be even a lot more, maybe $200 increase in rent. So things just fell in place. And their relationship with the broker, I want to give them the credit, Sapan and Veena and the whole team, the founders of Enzo, who were able to bring this home, actually,
Yeah.
So I didn't have to do too much on that. I don't want to take the credit. You bet.
That's generous of you as well. And I was going to ask you about, obviously moving into a new market, like you talked about. You're heavily invested in Texas, then you learned Atlanta, and
Yes.
and now moving to another market. Just how has that had to change your company? What's had to change internally to be able to say, okay, now we are confident, moving to this new market. And I know a lot of it's because of a new partnership,
Totally.
that you're confident
Totally.
in.
You're right, and also all the reports. See, we immerse ourselves into the job market. Like when I flew there, I saw cranes all over, like in Orlando. Seems like Orlando is like, I know I'm opening up I'm sure a lot of investors are already going there, which we are in the higher levels. So we are looking at 200 units, 250 units, 300, 400 units, But what I found was probably Orlando, in my mind, is like Dallas was 5 years back, because the freeways are getting expanded, cranes, more jobs are coming, more technical jobs, a lot of other stuff are happening. So that's what made us realize, oh my gosh, let's go over there to Orlando and Jacksonville and Tampa. Miami is great too. I know Grant Cardone is buying quite a bit in Miami. Miami, that's great, but there's such a big pie, I believe, and everybody can be very fully compensated and, work together to get their range of different, units that one can purchase. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the business plan for this deal.
Okay, the business plan actually is a pretty strong one. It's a stabilized asset. That's why everybody wanted to get into it, like 95 to 97% occupied, right, always. And there is a room for growth. If we just burn loss of lease, as you know, the people who are living there and the market rent at present, it's going to increase in value by $6,700,000 just by doing that. Then the valet trash will be doing, because these are very high white collar, we could say. It's a B plus in a minus area, very nice area. A lot of jobs around there, so we'll be able to push the rents up. It's 24 acres of land, all block construction, and a lot of great amenities. We are thinking about doing the special plugs, the sockets, which have the USBs and all that, because they like those. We are thinking about the lockers also, and parking. out of 324 residents, there was only 70 parking spaces at this time. And it cost us only $10 to put a pole and say reserved on it, right? So we're going to be increasing that and charge $25 to $30. And we'll keep on adding as many parking reserved spaces near to the unit, because you just drive right to the unit. So it's a 2-story only, right? And it's spread out all over. So that's other value play. So business plan is really tremendous. In our package, we have given $850,000 how we're going to spend, and a beautiful, beautiful package. Our company, Monil Management Group, will be managing it along with Enzo. So it's a 50-50 deal. And I'm very excited to be working with them. So our hiring manager, director, she's coming in, myself, other Neil, we are coming in there interviewing, and most of the staff will be working and become employees of Monil. We have talked to the seller already, and they said, sure, please interview, and they have shown interest, and we are very fired up about that, because if an asset is doing so well, there are positive things that we look at, and we don't want to change the name. We don't want to do any, but we want to make sure all the things that they are doing to be successful, we keep on doing them, So
yeah. So quickly on that, as far as you don't want to change the name.
Yes.
So I hear a lot of people talk about rebranding. Spending. Is it worth spending the money on rebranding? And this time you chose not to. And so tell me, how do you make that decision?
Excellent. What I've done is in the last 26, and this is the 27th acquisition for me, I think we have changed names for most everything except 4 times. When the property has a good name, like Villas at Autumn Hills over there in Atlanta, is in a great location, beautiful location. And a lot of people were saying, Vinney, don't buy there. But I said, I know the constructions and everything happening, it's going to become, Atlanta is becoming the movie studios of the country now. Hollywood is behind. Atlanta is producing more movies, So that's what has done over there. I kept the Autumn Hills name there, just put villas in the front. But in this one, with our joint promotion, we are not going to even put villas. Just keep it just like it is. We don't have to change the signage or stationery or everywhere. It'll be the same. So when the property is stabilized, has a good name, reviews are great and websites are made and all those things, then we don't change them,
Okay.
But if you're putting a lot of money, like millions of dollars, to really renovate them, and the bad name is there, or other things, then we change the name. And we do the ribbon cutting ceremony in about 6 to 9 months, invite the mayor, invite the Chamber of Commerce, everything, have a great luncheon, have the fires, the fire engine come in. I mean, we just do it, big hoopla, and have the local press come in. Yeah, that's the way to do it,
Awesome. No, that's great. I just wonder, I've heard different people have different takes on, like, should I rebrand? Is it worth the expense? And that makes sense. So, but what about on this specific opportunity, the one in Orlando, what about financing? What's the financing look like on that opportunity?
The financing is amazing. Again, I want to give credit to Enzo Multifamily. They have been working with the broker. Wonderful, wonderful person, Melissa. And she is great broker who was able to sell our story, of course, financials and everything, and who we are, our profiles, to Fannie and Freddie, both. And they were fighting with each other. Oh my gosh, that was the best thing, the bullfight. Who will get this loan? So it's a great thing when the asset is awesome. Fannie and Freddie were fighting. They are the same, 2 arms of the government, but they don't know each other that much. They do their own, allocation of the funds. So Freddie won, by the way. Freddie won. They gave us 80,000 rebate to not charge us for the rate lock that happened a couple of weeks back. So we said, okay, that is good one. And that was and their terms were very good too. 10 years fixed and 5 years of interest only. 5 years of interest only. And we locked in the rate. Whitney, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm sitting down. I'm actually not, but I'm ready.
Yeah, just standing up. 3.82%. 10-year fixed. Oh my gosh, yes. And with supplement and only 1% prepayment penalty, 1% only after the lockout period. So it's one of the best dream loans, we have gotten, and 5 years of interest only. We love that because, see, as we add value to the asset, it's dead money, right? As we add value, the valuation goes up. But then if you are paying principal down and interest after 1 year or 2 years, then you have that dead money staying there. By having interest only, we have a lot more cash flow at the bottom line. We like to under promise and over deliver. Our philosophies of Monil, which I've built over 12 years, and Enzo's are very similar, very, very similar, like that. So that has been a good union. And the good part also is that, we gave, I think in our brochure, OM 17.1% or something like that. We told them ours was coming to 19% on our underwriting. So we gave them 2% less just to show them, and now we are coming close to 21% IRR.
Wow. Wow. So what's the hold period for this property? I don't know. I don't think we mentioned that.
No, usually in our PPM, private placement memorandum, we say about 4 to 6 years, right? But we will look at this asset in about 3 years because we think it's going to grow in value quite bad. Then we might get supplemental loan, which is true, and then we can pay off the investors, but they still keep on getting the the returns until the equity gain. So it could be 3 to 4 years. We'll look at it and see if we can do a supplemental loan or sell it. We're thinking about selling it in 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess tell me a little bit about why you would just do a supplemental loan and how that works with the investors. You're paying them then. How does that work?
Totally. See, because if you're refinancing, that's what it is. In the Fannie and Freddie branch, you cannot get a second loan from outside. So you have a supplemental clause in there in the loan documents, Whitney. So that way you can bring out the cash. It's a refinancing. It's called supplemental. Same thing in Freddie and Fannie. So you're returning the capital. It means no tax consequences. It's not a capital gain because capital gain comes when you are selling the asset. So when you sell it, it's a tax gain for the investors to pay. But if we take a supplemental loan or refinance, in other terms, then you just give the money back, 100% of it. All that money goes back to the investors who brought us to the dance. I call it always in my podcast, right? We wouldn't be dancing if our partners were not there, right?
That's right.
And I'm really excited to share with you, I raised $7 million in 7 hours in this deal.
That shows your success right there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But if you take care of investors well, see, the big thing is track record. I cannot boast too much, but track record speaks a lot.
Yes.
Because, they are looking for, I did sell in January a deal, which I gave 26.7% or something like that IRR to my investors. And I sold another one in February. So I knew that there's millions of dollars are going to the investors. So they were emailing me and calling me, when is the next deal coming? So that is the reason also, when you give money back, they want to send it back to you again.
Yeah, of course. And I just wanted to reiterate, you talked about, you get this supplemental loan, you're paying back the investor's investment.
Correct.
If they invested $100,000, you're going to hand them $100,000, and so they're getting their investment back, and it's not a taxable. It's not because you're returning their funds.
Yes, exactly, 100% correct. 100% back or 60% back depends on
right. Sure, depends.
Yeah, when we cash out or get supplemental, they don't take it to the 80% LTV. Then they do it lower down to 70 usually. So that way, yeah.
Okay. And so, Vinney, this is a large acquisition, right? This is much larger than most syndicators are buying. But operating at that level, what kind of buyer do you plan to have for a property of that size?
I'm glad you said it. We bought this from a very nice group from Boston. They have like 10 assets. Actually, they have even given us the special, the broker told us that we were that good that the seller wants to sell us other assets also
Good.
off market, which is kind of nice. But you're right. I would say these, investors have to be who can raise $16 million. We are raising, by the way, in our PPM, we said 20 million, because just to be sure, if any numbers come in here and there. So you have to have some kind of good, strong base of investors. And I teach that in my academy, Whitney. We got to see, syndication world is a great world. And everybody listening to me should always talk to 2 to 3 new investors every week. You figure out a way. I mean, if you write down affirmation, I am talking to 3 new investors every week, and you read it morning, afternoon, evening, and you didn't do it, your subconscious and conscious will bring you in touch with those people. It's amazing. You got to really put the effort, going to meetings and meetups, and starting, going to wealth advisors, going to all these people where there is money, philanthropy organizations. I mean, the thing is, one should write down all the people, circle of influence, who come to your mind first. That's all associates, family, friends, neighbors, everybody, right? Everybody's got money. We got 25 to 26 trillion with a T, $1 trillion money in retirement funds just in USA, and only, maybe 3 to 5% is in real estate. See, everything is stuck, in the money markets and stock markets and this precious metals or cash, in the banks and all that stuff, or savings and loans and all. So if we can self-direct it and share with our investors, hey, let me share with you, different avenues. Again, I want to educate you. You never talk to the investors that you want money from them. No, never,
Right.
never. You want to share with them your knowledge, your credibility and everything, and how these numbers work, as examples, right? And then say, when I get a deal, I'm looking at this deal, don't have anything yet, but in the future, when I get something, that is so important. I'm trying to teach that to my students every week. Please do not get a deal and then you look for investors. See, SEC ruling against that. It totally
Right.
is. You have to have the pre-existing relationships before you get the deal with the investors, and then you show them the deal, and then you ask them if they would like to invest.
I've learned time and time again, you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Just at the post office,
Yeah.
you're talking to somebody and, and internally you're thinking, well, this person's not an investor, but you just never know. You never know who they know. You never know how you can help them and how they can provide value to you or connect you to somebody. You're always meeting investors.
I'm glad you're saying that, Whitney. I learned this 40 years back because I was in sales and marketing and, one of the top consultants in my company, old company. The thing was, and I also retained 89.6% or something, my clients, from one year to next year to next year. A lot of my clients worked with me for 30 years in a row. So in other words, every year I was raising money for them. Every year I was raising thousands of dollars. Now I raise millions of dollars. But the thing is, God was kind of preparing me for this, or whatever. I think, there's always destiny, right? So what you want to become one day, you are in the process of becoming today. I really believe that. My great mentor and billionaire friend who passed away, with a B, billion, Spencer Hayes, I like to give tribute to him. He was just a wonderful soul. Called me on my birthdays, and oh my gosh, the kind of touch we had together. And founder of many companies, Tom James companies, his company, Southwest, a lot of 7 companies. Anyway, Hickory Freeman, all that stuff. But the thing was, he said, Vinny, what you want to become one day, you are incrementally becoming that person. See, you don't become that person overnight. So that's what we want to be thinking about, and sending ourselves and giving our affirmations the power to law of attraction. I believe in law of attraction so wholeheartedly. 24/7, it's working for us. Whether we want to believe in it or not, if we are negative, if we are not thinking correctly, all those things, subconscious and conscious, sends out signals. And those negative things bring more negative things back to us. That's what it is. Negative attraction. In this sense, if you're positive, if you're sending out the signals, hey, I want to achieve this, you would not know how these people will come in your life. That is the key thing. You got to look at one investor, not as one investor, but times 20. So if they spend with you 100,000, let's say is our minimum, and 20 times, so 2 million, because their circle of friends, the positive feelings you'll bring, the more money you are able to give them, they're going to tell more people and more people and more people. That's what has happened in my life. I have 136 investors, I think, or so now. Started with 0, then 5, then 7, then 8, then 15. So everything starts from 0.
You're definitely not buying a $52 million property overnight. You're not getting to that level overnight.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And you think it started just the daily affirmations, daily, you're the most positive person I probably know, so, it's definitely helped you. And I just think it feeds to, people you're talking to and investors.
Surely.
I'm sure they love that about you. You're moping around all day and with your head down. Who wants to invest with you, right?
Who wants to invest with you, really? And you want to leave them as a better person. That's what I tell my students. You got to leave every meeting with positive, lot of positive, whether they decide or not. A lot of people don't decide right away. They have to think about it. They have to talk to their spouse. They have to talk to their pastor, their CPA, their attorney, like that. So give them room to digest what you are saying. And then I like to do Zoom meetings and record them, by the way, totally record them and send a link back to the investors.
Oh, that's a great
And I've been doing it for 12 years. I've been doing it. And they enjoy that, and now with my academy, I even have a motive, and I tell them, my digital director will look at it. If there is something meaningful, it might become archived into our, all the university and, academy also. So that way. So yeah, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're running close on time, Vinney. And, anything else about this deal that stands out that you'd like to tell the listeners, that's maybe unique or that's something you all are doing different?
Okay, I would say definitely it's great to become partners with great people. I would like to say I couldn't have taken it down. Enzo might have been able to, it's possible, but combining the effort, it's really brought a lot of synergy into, and we are understanding each other and working together, and our goals are very similar. That's exciting. So find a great team player. It's not a solo game, at all. I had a partner with me before. We are closing that company down, Ideal Investment Group. The last 2 properties out of the 14 syndications will be sold in 2 weeks. I'm selling those to her, and we are totally shutting down that part of the business. And now we have Monil Investment, Monil Management Group, and my multifamily academy, my educational branch. So I'll be managing 3 companies. And
Nice.
It's good to build with a strong company, a union, but don't go into a contract together that for life we're going to be 50-50. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's good to just make your LLC and their LLC, and then you go into the management side of the property. That's 70-30. So 70 is the limited partner, and then 30 is in the manager LLC, and you come in 50-50 in that. That's what I would suggest.
I know you and I have discussed this a little bit in the past, and so instead of you being bound together forever, it's per property then.
Yes,
way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if it doesn't work out, it's, you can go on to the next deal by yourself or with somebody else or.
Totally.
Totally.
And I will highly recommend, that you should do as many deals together you can, but once you can stand on your own, go by yourself, Why not? Because then you have a track record and everything, But if everything is working out good, because it's a long-term relationship. See, remember, once you are together, it's going to hold on for 5 years. 5 years at least, right? Maybe even 7 years. So one has to really feel good about and everything.
You mentioned that you knew that, like, the people you partnered with on this deal, you've known them a few years, you've seen how they operate, you've seen other assets they have.
Totally.
That gave you some confidence of how they would operate with you now.
Totally, totally, totally. And that is a good thing. They also wanted, I also wanted. We just were looking for a great, investment to come together with, and we just came, and we are making it history within 45 days. Can you believe it? I
Wow.
mean, we signed the contract, executed it on Wednesday. Thursday, 9 people were there from our team and their team. Yeah, about 7 to 9 people. And my students got so much excitement because some of them flew in and some were right there in Orlando. So they were able to go through, into the due diligence and everything. Actually, I even invited one student of mine, Dumel, to come there the day I flew in. So he was fly on the wall, and he saw us seeing the whole property tour and everything, and pictures, and build relationships with my partners and everything. So it's very
Nice.
exciting to, in my Atlanta property, I like to do property walks as I go there, so students can come in. I don't charge any money. And same thing in the, Texas, and then now in Florida.
Nice. Well, Vinney, unfortunately, we're out of time. But tell the listeners, how the best way they can get in touch with you. Obviously, tell them a little about your academy, and then also, you have a couple other big announcements that we want to blast out.
Thank you, Whitney. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me. They say, Whitney, you've been a really positive guy. So, would you like to do some motivation show? And I do like that. I do Facebook Live, 10 a.m. It used to be syndication show, but now it's motivation and syndication show that I do. It's a Facebook Live for half an hour to 45 minutes every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific. But then I'm also VinneyChopra.com is the best place. Vinney, VINNEY CHOPRA. And my business advisor, John, JON. John, yeah, JON. So please, at VinneyChopra.com, you can reach him. The two great announcements, three actually. I'm starting my own podcast show where I'll be the only guest. I'm sorry. I've just been busy with so much stuff. It'll be hard for me to manipulate different guests and all. So I'm starting with myself only. It's Mr. Smiley. I smile a lot. Mr. Smiley's motivation talk show, weekly show. I've recorded 6 already, and we're going to launch it. My promoter is #1 seller in USA in a book and videos and all and everything. So she's promoting. Alicia is my co-host actually in the show. And then we have crushed it 6 of these shows. So they'll be launched 6 at a time very soon. The press release just came out in all over. And the second show, Whitney, is my Syndication Made Easy. Syndication Made Easy, which thousands of dollars are paid by students in my academy to me. I'll be bringing those golden nuggets to starting from start up to 30, 40 minutes of that golden nuggets and answering questions and everything for the students, So that's my Syndication Made Easy, which will also be in the book and Kindle edition, which is coming up, my journey from $7 to over 250 million, which will be about close to 300 million now, So that is my third thing. The book and Kindle edition and audio version will be coming out too.
I assume that they'll be able to find the podcast and the book on your website, right?
Correct. Everything will be there. Totally.
Yeah, so by the time the show launches, just so the listeners know, this stuff will be out. So you'll be able to go to his website and be able to find these things.
Totally.
Yeah, Vinney, thank you again. Always a pleasure to have you on the show and share, your expertise with the listeners. And I appreciate the listeners being with us today and every day. And I hope you'll go and leave a rating and review, and then also go to LifeBridge Capital and connect with me. Happy to help you any way I can. Go to the Facebook group, the Real Estate Syndication Show, so we can all learn from experts like Vinney and grow our businesses together. We'll talk to each of you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Syndication Show, brought to you by LifeBridge Capital. LifeBridge Capital works with investors nationwide to invest in real estate, while also donating 50% of its profits to assist parents who are committing to adoption. LifeBridge Capital, making a difference, one investor and one child at a time. Connect online at www.lifebridgecapital.com for free material and videos to further your success.